What's good? I'm gonna turn the comments off. I don't like seeing the comments. What's good? I wanted to get on here and try to articulate a few things. First thing I want to say is I don't know who called the police last night, and I'm sure that whoever it is that called the police is somebody who pay attention to the lives and pay attention to what's going on. It's somebody who knows. It's somebody downtown in the area who know what the fuck going on. I don't got no respect for no individual that don't come to communicate to somebody what their problem is, and instead goes to a third party arbitrator to try to deal with the problem or issue. Whoever it was that it was a speech that was playing last night. That was part of the reason I was so upset too, because you got to be a real low moral having motherfucker to call the police because a fucking Martin Luther King Jr. speech is playing too loud on a Saturday night while you live downtown. And so I just thought the whole thing was disgusting. I thought that the police department having 3 police officers come to the scene for a speech playing on a speaker on a Saturday night not only was disgusting, but to me all of these things is disrespectful to people who have open cases involving their loved ones, who have unsolved investigations involving themselves. And personally, my ideology is that I understand that these institutions are not set up to help anybody who is victimized or to help anybody receive justice. But I also understand that there are people who, and I once was one of those people, I guess in some aspect, I've never, but there are people who are reliant upon this institution or these institutions because there's nothing else in their place. And because of their reliance upon these institutions, they want to believe in the best of these institutions, or they want to believe that maybe for them the institutions will be different. And for a percentage of people, that does become the case. For a percentage of people that rely upon this institution, the manner in which that they are looking to receive what they deem to be justice, they'll get that through the institution. But for the overwhelming majority of people, that's not what happens. And also, that's not what these institutions are built upon. And so when 3 police officers come out in the middle of a Saturday night while the city last year was on record had the most murders it's had, while all the things that's going on in the city are going on, to me it's a slap in the face of all the people who that time and those resources could be devoted to trying to help them receive what they deem to be justice, or what they need to help try to bring closure to situations that they have. Now, and again, I think that it's good that these things are put on display. I think it's good that there are receipts of these things because it goes, again, to prove the point that these police officers are not out here trying to protect and serve communities or people, that they are out here to uphold a status quo, and that certain people, when they call the police come quickly. When the police are called on certain people, the police come quickly. There was an accident out here maybe about 2.5 weeks ago where the police was called, and 911 was called multiple times for an accident in which 2 cars were totaled. I think I would have believed both cars had to be towed away. 2 cars were totaled, and I was helping a woman out the car, and the 911 took like 30 minutes to get there, 30 minutes to get there. And then that was a Sunday evening, mid-Sunday evening. And then yesterday on a Saturday night, with what I would assume to be within minutes of whoever it is that called the police, they came with 3 squad cars. That's more squad cars than they came to the accident with. Not that police officers are needed to deal with accidents anyways. It's just another way that they steal money from the public and try to get petty arrests to meet their quotas. And so when these police officers come out and do stuff like that, when things that I deem to be just blatantly inhumane and disrespectful, I'm gonna treat them as such. I'm gonna speak to them as such. When a police officer is coming out here and taking a speaker because a Martin Luther King Jr. speech is playing, I'm gonna cuss him out. I'm gonna cuss them out. They deserve to be cussed out on a regular basis. I don't know how many people. I wouldn't have no respect for nobody who would sit by idly by as a Confederate soldier was enacting racist ideology and say nothing. The only thing in these situations that I have that I can do is to speak. It would make no sense for me when these things happen to just sit back and sing Kumbaya. First off, it would be detrimental to me psychologically and mentally. I don't think nobody should deal with oppression by trying to hold in the oppression. That's how you end up letting out the way you feel on other people and regurgitating and perpetuating the cycle of oppression and things like that. So when these police officers come out, who I've had multiple interactions with, and they come out and they exercise fascist thought patterns and ideology, I'm going to treat them how people who exercise fascist thought patterns and ideology should be treated and should be spoken to. I have the right to speak to them in whichever manner that I would like. I have the right to speak to anybody in whatever manner that I would like. I'm not using no racial epithets, not using no racial slurs. I'm not making no threats or saying some type of private personal information about anybody. They getting cussed out. And that's one of the things that's happened regularly. Even this trial that is coming up now, people that I have on Tuesday. This idea that you should that people that it is a reasonable or that it is a normal action or pattern for people to be disrespected and for them to say nothing and do nothing. For people to be treated in an inhumane or an oppressive manner and to say nothing and to do nothing. And it's something that is completely removed from reality. And when you start getting into this place where you try to behave removed from reality with police officers or with racists, with people who are the people who most need to be treated like everybody else because they have the privilege that they have, that they exercise is the fact that they believe that they are higher than other people. Police officers are the main people that you should exercise every right that you have in the law with, because they are the people that walk around in the streets as if they are above the law. And so I have the right to cuss a police officer out. I'm not stopping them from doing their job. They wanted the speaker, they took the speaker. They wanted to give me a citation, they gave me a citation. Nowhere within the law does it say that I can't speak back when I get a citation or get a speaker. And if you want to know the people that talk to the police the craziest, go to a rich neighborhood or go to a upper end or a high class neighborhood, or watch what happened when somebody that's a prominent figure get pulled over or stopped by the police, or a police officer gets stopped by another police officer. And as long as these police officers who falsely arrest people, who destroy people's lives on a daily basis, who traumatize people on a daily basis, as long as these people are treated with some type of reverence, that will continue the psychological bondage that some people have when it comes to these police officers and when it comes to these institutions. And the same thing for people who weaponize the police, man, fuck them. Like we in this place where people pretend to be holier than thou in situations that they see from afar. But when they in them same situations themselves, they are just as human as everybody else. What happened last night was that speaker was stolen from my possession. It was stolen unjustly from my possession, and maybe they have something that they want to quantify to say it's legal. But I have a backlog of a year of interactions with these police officers, of them coming down here and issuing a citation, a noise citation, and me keeping the item that was the noise was emanated from. Even when they came down here and they issued the noise citation and they gave it to me, when they took the speaker, it wasn't even nothing playing on the speaker no more. And so people who do shit like that, fuck them. Fuck all three of those cops. They no different than slave catchers. They no different than Nazis. They no different than Confederate soldiers. They are out here enacting racist ideology. They out here implementing racist policy and racist procedures. And they out here using the guys and the uniform and the badges that they have as an excuse for them to try to get off on power, on their power hunger, or feed their power hungriness. It'd be just as easy, and I don't know if this is like some type of false conception or false notion, but it'd be just as easy for me to say nothing. It wouldn't mean nothing for me to say nothing. Every time somebody come down here and do something that's racist, or the police come down here and do some fascist shit, I could easily just say nothing and be quiet about it. It's multiple times when the police come out here and I film and I don't say shit to their ass. But there's also, and the same thing, is multiple times when somebody come out here on some racist, ignorant ass shit, and I don't say shit to their ass. I don't film them nothing. Go on about your day. I ignore their ass. But that is not something that should be done all the time or even regularly, because all that does is enable the people who are doing those things, and it makes them feel as if it is okay to do those things. That's all that does. Somebody hit you 10 times and you don't say nothing until the 10th time that you done been hit. Now you 10 times back and trying to get them to break that habit. I once had somebody tell me that's why the police do that to y'all. That's why they do that to people, because the way that y'all talking or the way that y'all treating them. That same concept would not be applied to nothing else and be justified. Only with the institution of policing is the person who is victimized have the onus on them to behave as if they're the victimizer. Only with policing. If you see somebody getting robbed on the street, and after they got robbed on the street, they was cussing out the person that robbed them, you would think nothing of it. You wouldn't think to yourself, oh no, don't say nothing. Don't say that to them. Oh, don't be respectful. You wouldn't think that. But because the thief has on a blue uniform, now you think that. That's a psychological bondage that people is under. And so I hope every time somebody see any of these cops that be on any of these cameras, any of these videos, that they cuss their ass out. Or any of these racist people, man, cuss their ass out. Fuck them people. Letting people be comfortable in these sick ass ideologies and these sick ass thought patterns is why we in the place that we in now. And so, really, I just wanted to get on here and talk about that, what happened last night. Fuck them cops. Fuck whoever it was that weaponized the police. 3 police officers coming down here to steal a speaker in the middle of the night because the speech playing too loud. These motherfuckers got a $2 million budget increase. They done spent at least 25% of that on Occupy City Hall. All right, we outside.